Good afternoon, boys and girls. I have now spent 60 hours in the tree in the Lone Wolf Custom Gear Ranger, so I feel I can now give you an actual opinion of how I think the stand works and how it works as far as a platform or as a hybrid platform, and using it for hunting, other than just I just got it, look at this thing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to discuss is my cons, and my cons are the carrying. The system design of it, the carrying design of it, actually getting it in the woods or out of the woods, and actually putting it in transport mode and taking it out of transport mode, and things such as this. So it comes with straps, and it comes with everything that the stands would come to. We are about to take the straps off of this thing for the 5th time and readjust them and see if we can't get it a little bit better, because one of the big issues I'm having is when I'm putting this thing on with a pack on it and everything. I'm 5'8", so I'm not a very big guy, but when I put it on, if you'll see where this thing is riding, it's right down here at my saddle. It's a hybrid stand. I'm wearing a saddle, okay? And all of these teeth and these little prongs and everything else, I can tell you right now, they're going to attach themselves to your saddle. That's not fun in the dark in the morning or anything like that, trying to get out of there. I have a large carabiner on the back of my saddle that I actually clip my backpack to when I'm one sticking to go up the tree. I can 100% rest assured something in here, this key pin fob here, this little ring on this key, on this cotter pin or something, is going to be stuck in the back of my saddle. It's also driving these into the small of your back, because you have to get it so far down. The straps need to be so far down on this to raise it up on me that it's actually giving it that tilt mode on your back, and it kind of makes it uncomfortable. I do like the fact that the widest section of the platform is up here at your shoulders instead of down here at your waist or your butt, like the 0.5 and the 7.5, the actual tree stands. So it makes the weight kind of disperse a little bit better. I do think it carries a little bit better. I was told that this is supposed to hit this stand to keep this Versa button from stabbing you in your back when you have it transport mode and you're actually having it on your back. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna call bull crap on that, all right? This is 3/4 of an inch off of the post. This is 3/4 of an inch thick. This should fit flush, and I don't use this one. I can fully see within about 2 or 3 more good carries, I'm gonna take a grinder and I'm gonna cut it slap off so the stand will actually fold flush and set down flush, because one of the things I have noticed is that with this standing out and this being way down here for set your packs on or whatever, is just terrible. The transport, as far as like having a pack attached to it or having your bags attached to it or whatever, they want to flop or roll around to each side of this. It's very difficult. You can't just like take a tree house and use the strap that hooks it to a tree and throw it through it and strap it down. You've got to have a double strap system. You got to have something down here at the bottom, which is not at the bottom's down here, and something up here at the top. Double support to keep your pack from wallowing or wobbling all over the place when you try to tilt and go under trees or anything like that. And like I said, I'm about to readjust the straps on it for the 5th time. I'm fixing to replace them somewhere else on this stand to see if I can't get a little bit better adjustment. I understand the reasoning for this cotter pin and the fact that, you know, to hold the seat in transport mode or whatever. This little darling right here in the middle of the night will drive you absolutely freaking insane trying to come out of your tree in the dark or go and get this little pin to go back in that hole. You're pretty much up there in the tree hanging in the moonlight looking at it, trying to find that little hole and stick it in there and make sure it's locked and everything else. So it kind of sucks. I understand why they've done it, because there's not really a whole lot of other ideas to do. Now, as we know, lone wolves have always got these little pegs here, there, and yonder, and it's form over function, or a function over form. Therefore, connecting their sticks and connecting the lone wolf gear to the stand, and they work great for that. They also have a pair of them right here on this seat, these little pegs right here. You see these hanging off? They're like some sort of little lash strap or a little tie-down strap or something like that. Do y'all remember when you were a kid and your mom's making a cake or she's making cookies, and you would run through the kitchen and you'd stick your finger in the cake icing, or you would pick a piece of raw cookie dough and eat it, and you try to turn around and sneak out of there, your mom would smack you behind the head? Yeah, whoever come up with this idea, you need to walk by your mom and stick your finger in the cake icing, because you need to be smacked in the back of the head. Because I'm going to tell you right now, everything will snag on that. this string will snag on that. The elastic off of a USA Pro will snag off of that. A USA Pro will snag off of that. An 8mm tether will get caught and snag in that. If your pants will snag in this. Anything that comes by this, it is literally like a coat hanger wrapped up in a 100-foot extension cord. It's going to catch it. It's just, again, we'll probably take the grinder and grind them off. I have no use for them. I see no function for them other than a place that you might want to lash something else to it. And this is not a stand that you want to lash anything to. So they're probably fixing to get ground off as well. So now that that's said, and we understand Lance's issues as far as the transport and carrying mode, let's get into the actual hunting mode and standing on it, and as far as using it like a platform mode. I have 100% absolute zero cons in that situation. It's all a pro. It is a phenomenal platform. It's a monster. I mean, it's a big platform, guys. Okay, I mean, it's a big boy. And I can literally stand on this, put slack in my tether, turn my back to the tree, and turn completely around and turn a weak side shot into a strong side shot. I shoot recurves and longbows, so, you know, room is something that's big to me. As far as I'm concerned, I have to wear knee pads at work a lot of times. They drive my knees crazy in the back of my knees. I can't stand knee pads. A foam cushion on a tree is a great idea, but if you're in a small tree or something, it wants to try to spread your thighs apart, and like after a couple of hours, you start feeling the tension on your ankles and the inside of your groin. This tree stand seat flip this way right here, it's a flat base with a big, huge cushion pad on it. It is marvelous. It is wonderful. There's no pressure on your knees. It's not pushing you a certain direction or whatever. And it's just big enough for what I want it to be. And that is just something that I can, if I need to, I can turn around, place my little butt right here, and take a break on it. I wouldn't try to shoot from that. Compound shooters, y'all could probably get away with it. Me and a big long trad bow, I don't know. There's just not a lot of foot room out here past this, okay? But as far as just like turning around, sitting down, taking a break, it is marvelous for that, okay? This thing bites like an alligator. You can forget toe camming. It's not needed, okay? I mean, look at the fangs on that thing. All you got to do when you get up the tree and you set this thing, you wrap it up, the only thing you got to do is, once it's hanging on the tree like that and you've got your cam buckle or whatever you got to attach to the tree, is you can just turn this little dial right here, and this finger, you turn it with your fingers and adjust this platform the levelness that you want it. Once you see the levelness you want it, just gently lift up on that joker and pick it up about 2 to 3 inches and then crank them in. And all you want to do is get it to crank in to where you got to reach with both hands and put both hands on it and kind of give it a little like that down. Or maybe if you step on it, it might drop this much. And it's bit. You can put all the side pressure on it you want to. I connect to this bottom one. It ain't going nowhere. I mean, it bites a tree like nobody's business. If you're like me and you like the USA Pros and or Amsteel attachments instead of the cam buckles, be ready to modify it if you get it. These, unlike the .5s and everything, these aren't a screw-in Versa. These are actually, the Versas are actually machined in, and they're rectangular. And I've actually had to stealth tape mine. They're so crisp and so sharp on these edges right here that it was literally starting to, I had to go buy a new USA Pro. I got to looking at it and it was literally starting to fray the Amsteel because of the tension of it on those sharp corners. So basically what I did was I put some sandpaper on a dowel rod and I got in there and I kind of buffed those corners down a little bit to where they're not quite as sharp. Wrapped me some stealth tape around it in there and put me a new USA Pro on it, and now I know to closely watch that and closely monitor that, because that edge is sharp. And I'm sure if you tell Lone Wolf this, they're going to say use the cam straps we sent with it, because you know they're a big heavy canvas strap and they got the big thick loop and you ain't got to worry about that or whatever. But if you use like the Pros or the Amsteel or just a rope mod or something like that, it is something you might want to take into consideration, and it is something you might want to watch. So like I said, the only real big cons that I have for it are these little catches right here. If you were falling out of the tree, hopefully if you had this in your hand, you would never hit the ground, because I guarantee you something right there, that snag on something, you won't hit the ground, trust me. The fold up and transport of it, I do not buy this. I'm not buying that, oh, we meant to do that to keep this Versa button right here from stabbing you in your back. See how the center one comes through the wolf head here? The Versa button sticks out 3/4 of an inch off this post. This is 3/4 of an inch thick. It's not going to stab you in the back. I do like the way it keeps the platform up high on your shoulders. I do not like the way this sets so low on your bottom that it'll actually snag on your saddle or a fanny pack or anything like that. So again, I'm gonna have to restrap it again to see if I can come up with something like that. And I don't like the fact that it sits out so prominent like this off of the stand. I mean, we could drop this 3/4 of an inch if it wasn't for this Versa button right here. Otherwise, like I said, it's Lone Wolf. It's built like a tank. It's very well built. It's very strong. There's no flex in this. I'm not a big guy, but there's no flex in this thing. It gives you plenty of room. I can stand up upright like this, take complete slack off my tether, lean up against the tree and look around. I can stand on it like a regular platform. There's as far as hunting from it and putting your feet on, once you get up the tree and attach it to the tree, there are no cons. I mean, it is awesome. The only cons I have are just like I said. I mean, and by the nature of the design, what are they supposed to do? What do they do? I mean, you wanted a hybrid, you got a hybrid. So I can't really complain about the fact that it's this far down. If it was way up here, my knees would never hit the pad or anything like that. So, I mean, it's part functionality and part of the design of it. But overall, I think it's phenomenal. I really do. It weighs the same as the 0.5. So, I mean, I think it's a great little stand. And like I said, I'm not trying to sway you to it, sway you against it. I'm just wanting to give you guys a little bit of a heads up of what to expect if you actually buy this buy the Ranger hybrid. And like I said, as far as a hybrid stand, I hunt in it like a saddle, not like a tree stand. I couldn't ask for better. I couldn't ask for better. Actually getting it to that tree, yeah, there's little issues there. But like I said, by design, what do you do? I mean, it's got to be this shape. I hope that helps some of you guys. Hope you guys have a great season, and good luck to you.